Greetings, my lords. Jelord here, just coming at you real quick with a follow up to the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, so I made a video the other day talking about Switch 2 exclusives versus Switch 2 edition versions of games. And dude, I was speculating a little bit about this, but I did not anticipate I was going to be that right about how bungled these two distinctions would be by the time the Switch 2 dropped. I was pretty underwhelmed by the whole thing. I was not that impressed by the whole presentation, man. Like, first of all, talking about exclusives, I guess it's cool. Like Damon X Machina, that's cool. I'm excited about that, but I don't think that's a console seller for me. Mario Kart looks cool. Um, I like the whole Cruis'n USA cross country action that they're throwing in there for Mario Kart. That's pretty sick. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's Mario Kart, so that's kind of a gimme. Uh, we got Curry Air Riders or whatever that was called. That's interesting, although we didn't see too much about it. And then there was Bravely Default Remaster, which I don't even think that needs to be a Switch 2 game. They could have dropped that for the Switch. I guess that's yet to be seen. Maybe they still will. Um, the only thing I can say is like the graphics are not that game has kind of like lo-fi graphics. Like it doesn't really need extra computing power of the Switch 2. Like it doesn't need to be an exclusive like that. But I mean, I guess that's cool. That's our one JRPG we can be pumped about. It'd be nice if they fix the ending of that game where you're not doing the same shit over and over again 5 times. Hopefully, maybe they fix that. I guess we'll see. But I'm not gonna be picking that. I'm not gonna be buying a Switch 2 for that game or for Damon X Machina. That's for damn sure. Um, and then we're talking about all the Switch 2 editions of games. And they showed us on there, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. We got Kirby's Forgotten Realm. They're already talking about Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 edition. But these are all going to be downloads that are basically going to improve the games into Switch 2 graphics, I guess, improved graphical packages. But they're going to charge us for this. They're going to charge us for these games we already have to basically run them on with Switch 2 graphics. And I just want to point something out. PlayStation, going from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, there were a ton of games that if you already own them, you just got a free upgrade for it. And this is coming from pushsquare.com. I'm just going to give a few names of some big titles here. But we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Atelier Ryza 2, Battlefield 2042, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Crash Bandicoot 4, Cyberpunk, Dead by Daylight, Destiny 2, Doom Eternal, Elden Ring, Far Cry 6, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, For Honor, Hades, Horizon Forbidden West, Like a Dragon Ishin, Lost Judgment, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, No Man's Sky, Elder Scrolls 5, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 7, Resident Evil Village, Sonic Origins, Subnautica, Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's a pretty substantial list of games to get a free upgrade to the PS5 version if you already own the PS4 version. But yeah, I guess Nintendo decided they're going to charge us for all that stuff for the Switch 2 edition of games, which is it's like okay, Nintendo, cool. I wonder if they're going to drop like Switch 2 edition physical versions of these games to just like stick it to us physical collectors and make us feel like we have to buy that shit too. I wouldn't be surprised, but most likely I think they're just going to stay as like digital downloads if you don't already own the game, or if you already own the game, I should say. So that's pretty underwhelming, and it's pretty lame that they're going to be charging us for these Switch 2 editions of games. And also, one of the other exclusives was like A wheelchair basketball game? Like what is that, man? I don't even know what to say about that. That was goofy as hell. Wheelchair basketball. I don't understand. I don't get it. And then a bunch of the other reveals was like, oh, of course we're getting Elden Ring on there, and Street Fighter 6 because everybody bought that, and a bunch of other titles that if you've been playing games for the last 10 years, you already own them. So it's like I guess the Switch 2 will be good for people who haven't really been playing any games for the last 10 years. It's going to be a real awesome console at launch. The other thing I want to point out is like they did show us some new key features like the chat where you could see other players' screens while you're playing, which I guess that's kind of cool, but I feel like it's going to be pretty distracting. I don't really know 100% how like what kind of applications that's going to have. It's cool that they integrated voice chat finally, which that's something that I feel they could have just done with the software on the original Switch instead of linking it to an app. Which, like, speaking of which, now they're like expanding on the app that they recently set up so that it's going to have some game functionality. It looked like you could get some maps and stuff for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Which I mean, I there's maps in the game, so I don't know, man. I don't really give a shit about that. Um, Yeah, man, that was pretty underwhelming. I'm not gonna buy the console for Bravely Default and for Deus Ex Machina. That's not going to be a console seller for me. And Mario Kart's whatever, man. Like it's cool, but that's not a console seller in my book. And the other thing that kind of got me, the other feature they showed off was the mouse feature. They confirmed that, but it's like, dude, you couldn't. I know it's an older game now, but I still think it's pretty relevant. It's like you couldn't show us like League of Legends on there, or I honestly feel like it's a big missed opportunity. They could have like made their own Nintendo RTS. They could have made their own real-time strategy game and shown that off with the mouse controls, right? Like I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. You could have made like a Zelda real-time strategy game and or even something just an original IP and that could have been something totally that's like a missed opportunity if you ask me. They could have at least showed off something with it, some real-time strategy game, man. Like I know it's been a minute since they put out like a StarCraft game or something like that, but like League of Legends is still relevant. They could have showed us something with the mouse controls. The only thing we got was they showed us you could play Metroid Prime 4 with the mouse controls and shoot and aim, which I guess that's cool, like but it's little more than just like the gyroscopic aim assist, like it's just as underwhelming as that. That I really feel like that's a big feature for the new console that they could have maybe shown off in some way. But yeah, I don't know, man. I was pretty much right about the exclusives versus the editions, and normally I like being right, but in this case, I was not that pumped about being right in that particular distinction there. Like, and it's already kind of confusing too. Like edition, exclusive. I don't know, man. The fact that like the real letdown is the fact that they're charging for the upgrades for a lot of these games. Like I feel if you're paying $450 for a new console, they should at least like let you have those DLCs for upgraded versions of your games for free. Like I can't imagine that those upgrades are going to add any game features or for instance, like new dungeons or anything like that to these games. Like, it's not going to be, I can't imagine it's going to be substantial like that. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be graphical improvements, graphical overhauls. I don't feel like that's worth it, man. And then the biggest reveal for me, I guess, which just goes to show you how underwhelming this is, was the GameCube like Switch Online feature. And I mean, that's cool. We've been waiting for that, but you're telling me that shit couldn't run on the original Switch? I find that hard to believe. And the only thing that I'm excited about there is F Zero GX. But you're telling me like they couldn't they couldn't release an HD version of F-Zero GX and add a new set of tracks and add a few new vehicles, maybe some cross IP characters in there. Not to mention, you get parts for your vehicles in that game. They could have added more parts and stuff. Like, I feel like that was a missed opportunity there. We're just going to get it as part of the GameCube Switch Online. I don't know, man. When F-Zero GX is the most exciting reveal for your whole new console, at least for me, maybe other people were more excited. Like, man, that was underwhelming. I'm not impressed, man. I'm not impressed by it, but I'll be surprised. Like I said in my other video, I'll be surprised if we get any worthwhile exclusives in the first year that the console's out. Because besides what I mentioned here so far, they just showed us a bunch of games that already came out. So it's like, all right, Elden Ring. Like, who doesn't own Elden Ring on something at this point? I mean, the game came out on the PS4 for fuck's sake. But whatever, I guess. I guess, guys, woo, that's the Switch 2. Let me know in the comments down below how excited you were about this direct. I mean, people were really anticipating this, and some of the like speculation of what was potentially going to show up in this direct. I mean, people were really shooting for the stars on what they were anticipating. And I got to say, holy crap, come crashing down to earth, boys and girls. That was not impressive to me. Anyway, like, let me know what you think down below. I mean, that's just my opinion, I guess, but let me know if you were underwhelmed. Let me know if any of those titles stuck out to you really, and how you feel about these edition upcharges we're going to be getting for games we already own, man. Oh boy. Yeah, as always, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. I got plenty of other videos you can check out, repair videos, opinion pieces, things that aren't necessarily tied to what's going on today and tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to be Lord out. Take it easy, my friends.